Welcome, everyone. How is it going today and yesterday and the day before and the day after? How's it just going in general?
How are things going? No, I don't know anymore.
This guy here, he's no bones about it. He's been sitting there
Your joke
waiting.
is bad and you should feel bad.
He was waiting for me to start the show, and that's what happened. Oh, man, we got a chat full. Sweet and Tender in the house. Mr. Brown Shoes. World of Retro Gameplay. Yeah, starting soon. Justy Views in the house. Jav, if
HTK's in the house. Brother Mike's here. Justy Views.
Oro Chicata in the house.
Amico.
Matt Pills. Let's see. Luke's Awakening.
Savitor.
D, that's a good one. That is a good 3DO. I had that on 3DO. Jan Ong in the house. Good to see you, man. No Amico yet, but I think I don't want to spoil anything, but stay tuned within the next 12 hours. Tuning my radio. PJ Smith, what is happening? Universal Gaming in the house. You already called most of these out, and I'm just repeating them at this point.
That's fine.
Next level. Tommy Ouya. You said bacon ice cream. Good to see you, Rick.
But he is here.
Bacon
so is Mike Tendo Power.
All wings reported.
And Mr. Brown Shoes.
Bradshaw.
Orochikata? Orochikata. I think that's how you pronounce that.
And, oh yeah, you said Savitor. Blitzkrieg.
Peterson in the house.
Trying to catch up because I probably won't be able to keep an eye on it afterwards.
Yeah, Godspeed on you, sir.
Yeah, that's I'm calling you out now, and I'll try to keep as much. I'm not gonna be able to keep up with the chat. These last couple shows have been like in the hundreds, and it's.
TV has all of us in the house.
Indie Racing, good to see you tuning in, man. ADM 712 is my wood grain finished with testing.
Relic Gamer just popped in.
More to come. Oh, thanks, Matt Pills. I appreciate that. Relic, Mike Tendo, Troy in the house. You said HTK. I'm finally catching up. There's Hasselhoff in the house. I think. Yes, I'm at the end. Woo! Well, that's our show today.
And good night.
So I am drinking a Michigan whiskey here called, I don't know if you heard, well, this actually, I think goes everywhere. Where is it? What was the name? Anyways, it's called Screwball.
I have not heard of Screwball.
Now, this was I'm sorry, I take this back. It's not Michigan. It is San Diego, California whiskey. It's because I was just visiting. I just visited there, the place that came up with it. But it is a peanut butter flavored whiskey, starting to become really popular, at least over here in Michigan, which it originated from California. So we're probably like, I don't know, three years behind.
I haven't been looking for that one, so I don't know if it's around my area or not.
It tastes like peanut butter, and it's a really
I've been avoiding peanut butter whiskey. I just feel like that's not going to be my thing. I've seen a few of those actually around town, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like the apple one that you introduced me to, that one's pretty good. I drink that every blue moon, and then there's that other cherry one that I'll drink from time to time. I don't know if it's a batch I got or not, but it's a lot more. It's a lot more aggressive than what I remember you handed to me in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I always make sure it's icy cold, like out of the freezer, right when I do the shot.
That may be it, because I think I was just drinking it straight, and it's really aggressive that way.
Speaking of right back in the freezer, horrible transition. Rab, how you doing?
We almost replaced him with a flamingo. Yeah.
We almost had to fire up the old pooping flamingo back there.
It's all right.
We were waiting for you to come on. This guy was waiting to talk to you, waiting for you to come on the show, and you know he's bones now. So
yeah, it's been a long wait, but there's room in the back of the freezer, so we're good. Just me and the flamingo. Got room for the bird.
S Mills just popped in. Apparently, hiya hardcores.
What's happening? Good to see you. And it's that's the thing. You can add like you could add a chocolate whiskey to this peanut butter whiskey, or you do it straight. I like to put all my whiskeys kind of in the, well, unless I'm drinking them on the rocks, but like if I'm doing shots, I put them in the freezer. Not too bad of a transition.
Yeah, I find
I've been all over the place in other video
especially
chat.
like flavored whiskeys, like Jack Daniel's honey whiskey.
I've been around.
It's
I've
better
been
to
putting
get it in the refrigerator.
Yeah, I love the honey whiskey. Like I was on a honey whiskey kick. Mega Mike, what's happening, man?
Hey, Mega Mike.
Good to see you.
Evening.
But yeah, so I'm gonna try one of these peanut butter whiskeys. But yeah, I went to San Diego, California, visited a friend out there, and we went to get some great Mexican food. But we went to this place. Oh my god, I can't remember it. It's on my video of California over the summer. But it's yeah, we had these amazing wings, and then they had like the Game of Thrones, like the tree with the face on it and the red leaves, and he's like, "Oh, this is the home of Screwball whiskey, like where it was created." I mean, we were on their second location, so we weren't like at the plate distillery part, but yeah, and they served these, and then they mixed, they melted peanut butter with the whiskey inside, and it was like this cream peanut butter shot. Oh my god, you would not think it was even had any alcohol in it, but they're 70 proof. You know?
I find that's the case when you start taking like a spirit that's flavored, like say peanut butter, and then you introduce like more of whatever that flavor is. The alcohol kind of tends to disappear into it, and then you just get drunk before you realize what's going on.
Fats and lipids and stuff like lipids.
Yeah.
So it sort of masks the the presence of the alcohol. Not the effect, just the taste.
just the taste.
Your liver is still like, I know this.
I know what this is. It's alcohol mixed with diabetes.
Yeah, it's well, cheers to anyone that's anyone have anything? No, I'm the only one.
I don't have anything tonight. I'm trying to behave.
Well, it is a Wednesday. There you go.
So I'm trying to behave.
Salud.
That is so smooth, though.
You guys are gonna make me go get something in a little bit.
Oh, that's
the camera going and getting something. I blame you.
Woodchuck hard cider. I think I've had that. Well, I'm very close.
Woodchuck hard cider's not bad.
Yeah.
I found a couple of other ones that I like a little bit better than Woodchuck, but Woodchuck's solid.
What's up, Rhea? Good to see you.
Hey, Lady Vitreous. Cameron Hayes just popped in. Oh, Rhea's in.
Cameron, Labatt Blue tonight, huh? Well, I'll do you one a little better, I think, which is a Blue Moon. I love my Blue Moon. That's my go. It's been my go-to for many years now.
Yeah.
Man. Thanks everyone that can. I keep forgetting. Yeah.
Montreal just disowned you. We lost that audience.
But yeah, thanks. We now have super chats. We have. I've opened a, believe it or not, bomb a Patreon, but no, for real. I am starting a fan club. I know people are going to say that. I'm starting a fan club on Patreon, which the link is in tonight's video or live. I saw it's going to be like, well, go check it out. You'll see the trailer. Lots of silly stuff. We have like stuff like the Art Big Fall show, Marty Flamingo fan mail, virtually Peta Flamingo, separate club member holiday specials, weekly videos for members. So check that out. It's something new. I've been always like doing. You'll see some of my content will come out like 4 or 5 videos a day, and it just kind of gets bogged down on YouTube. When I'm in full swing. I mean, right now I'm kind of getting back into it, get the fall and into winter, and I'll be inside. So I'm kind of splitting it up. So we're gonna do like a members only thing. So it's gonna be called the DJC Fan Club. Check it out on Patreon. Check out the link. So I hope you like it. It's something you guys would be interested in. But anyways,
did you like get approved for like affiliate and stuff like that? Did you go through that whole process?
Yeah. I actually got monetized now. So like I said, we got the thing. I don't. Once again, I'm learning everything right now. So everything's active. We got super chats, thank yous, donations. Everything's open on it now.
Okay, cool. Sometimes that takes a bit, and YouTube can be funny with that. I've seen a couple people. It took them like a couple of weeks for whatever weird reason. I don't know why.
That's what it told me, and then like I literally, oops, let me take this off. It literally like it was like, please, it notifies me, hey, apply for this now. So I was like, yeah, sure, because I think I was at like 1,006 or something, and I was like, okay, oh yeah, sure. So I applied. Hey, it's like this may take 2 to 3 weeks. And then like 2 hours later, it's like, you're approved. I was like, okay.
Cool.
Yeah, unless there's something flagged, it's pretty much an automated process.
So I'm pretty stoked on that, man. Something new. Oh my goodness, Rhea. First super chat.
Woo!
So how does that? Oh, cool. It comes up in a different color too.
Yeah.
Keep up the amazing work. Congrats again. Well, Rhea, I urge you to keep up the amazing work on playing awesome games like Splatterhouse that you were playing the other day, which you've been diving into some classics as well. So make sure you subscribe to Rhea, the Glimmering Harpy. But thank you.
She's going to hit 1K pretty soon too. She was like a
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
we got another one.
Track.
Yeah, she's flying up through there.
Bacon Ice Cream, congrats on the 1K. Let's go and fire. I
was doing pretty good on my Geek Historian channel, and then it kind of tapered off. I think everybody kind of got cooled off on the overload of Halloween content. So I'm working on regular stuff for probably not. Oh yeah, sometime next week.
You guys got to pace yourselves. I last saw a sub in 1995.
You saw one past that because it wasn't even on YouTube until like what?
Panda sub.
I subbed.
Panda sub says super chat message. Oh, I don't know if this looks like a official super chat message. Says you're a sellout and also congrats, but you're a sellout.
This is true.
Oh man, oh my goodness, we got a few now. Well, thank you, Panda sub. I still want you on the Halloween special. I need to talk to you soon. Oh my goodness, here. Let me try to catch up here.
Oh, everybody's super chatting you now, man. This is going to be a thing for a little bit.
Oh my God, thanks. Thanks for the $20. Congrats, DJC. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I scratched, fought, and clawed for these. No paid subs here. Potion Sword Run. What's happening now? With the
Mega Dan paid for them on your behalf. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
He did a very sweet shout out video.
No, he's the one that got me the Amico. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So the haters can hate.
That's Mega
Potion.
Mike. Wait, that Mega Mike.
So the haters can hate. Laughing face. Potion Sword Run. Thanks, man. Dot. You should have done a dot. But thank you, Casey. Thank you, Bacon. Thank you,
laughing
Potion.
At the spicy food face.
Rhea,
how's it going, by the way, Potion? It's good to see you.
Hasselhoff, 163.
This is not.
Hey, that's official, man.
Price is right.
Yeah, don't do it.
Closest without going over. You win.
He just wants to pull the wheel.
Yeah, where is King Crab? Is King Crab not in here today?
I don't know. I brought plenty of butter. I don't know why he's not here.
Huh. Well, anyways, what were we about to talk? I was about to crack open this blue moon, and then all these super chats came through.
The giveaway. What? No.
Oh, there goes another one for PJ Smith.
Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. PJ Smith, dude, you are the best, man. He's just like, I'm going to keep it blank, which is $19.99. No, dude, I got an awesome modded Intellivision for PJ Smith. Had the RCA mods, and that's what I've been using all the last like couple months. What has been a couple months now? Been doing all my Intellivision videos, and that's why they look so absolutely crystal clear. So it's so awesome. And out in I actually have the Intellivision out there because I'm having a little thing out there where I have these 3 big TVs, and I just got a new TV, so I have like my old 50-inch hanging on the wall. And I have the original Intellivision hooked up, the modded one. So it's got like Burger Time on this big 50-inch TV. And then I got my Sega Genesis, NES, and Super Nintendo on the other sides. So it's like this big wall of like, so I got the arcades, and now I got like this console bar where people can just stand there and play console games now too. But I had to go oversized on the Intellivision. It's like the oldest console, and it looks
How does
fantastic.
it look scaled up on a big TV like that? Does it still
it actually looks great. Like I have to actually stand back a bit because it's so big.
Some of those old consoles, man, like that, when you start scaling them that big, they don't look so good anymore.
Cameron Hayes with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. You are awesome as well. I am predicting Chuck will get his Amico in the new Intellivoice next weekend.
We've got a question here from JWD. What do you think about the huge influx of homebrew Intellivision games?
Oh, they're insane.
We actually had an entire show on that with Papa Pete, actually.
Yeah, we covered a few of them last week, but there's another like 12 more that he's dropped since then.
Yeah, I saw but thank you, Cameron. Yeah, actually it's going to be sooner than you think, very soon. Let's just say stay tuned to the channel in the next so many hours.
Oh, Saggy's in the house. Hi, Saggy.
Hey, Saggy.
Aw.
Yeah. Chuck, you were playing a game that looked a lot like, it was like Battle of Olympus type graphics for Intellivision, and it just made me think like, that system had quite a bit of legs when Terry Valesky bought the rights to Intellivision and formed INTV in '84, they were just looking to like continue to service people who had Intellivisions, continue to put out games. Some of those games that they're putting out on Homebrew today really do look like they could stand toe-to-toe with earlier NES graphics. It just makes you wonder like where it could have been if they had a little bit more
it's money though, money and time
behind them, a little bit more time. If the NES didn't come in as hot as it had in 80,
I was thinking
there's a couple of factors in that. One, they can use the full memory, which most people couldn't afford to do with the Intellivision cards back in the day, right? So they can use the full bank of memory because it actually had capable of using larger carts than what most people published. So and graphically it can push a lot, but its sound still kind of falls a little flat. Yeah. Like if you look at Intellivision, it looks really actually frighteningly close to the NES version, but the audio level's not there.
I mean, Atari kept ET at like a 4 kilobyte cartridge because they were cheaping out on it.
Dude, memory around that time, as well as I do, was super expensive.
Yeah.
It was like a penny a byte or something like that. Yeah, or a penny ridiculous. A bit or something like that. Penny a bit or a byte. I don't know. You start adding it up, and it was really, really expensive. If you translated it to like current dollars today, it's an astronomical sum for what we put on a cart today. It was a penny doesn't sound like a lot, but when you start adding it together in that day and age, it's a lot.
Oh, we got another super chat. Thomas Bryant, $10. Dude, Thomas is a good dude. Met him and his dad, original Intellivision fans out in Boston at both events. Playing Astro Smash among other games and just having a good time. Congrats on thank you. I appreciate that, Thomas. That is awesome. I am going to keep doing my thing. It's all about games and fun stuff. I really don't care about the drama in it. I'm all about just Intellivision in general, as I've been since the beginning, as my two colleagues here, my two good friends here.
Colleagues.
I don't know why I was like my colleagues here on the panel. I
feel like I went back to work again.
Salutations.
The job's more fun, but the pay's worse.
And Saggy, I don't know why you wear brown pants. Apparently, it has something to do with the shoe people in here. But
I love you. I'm going to leave
I love you, Saggy. You're awesome.
She's disgusting with brown shoes, and I'm not going to go into any other explanation. I'm not going to.
Saggy's awesome.
I demand to know what is up with Miss Brown Leggings. Where's she at?
Oh my God, dude!
Yeah,
That's
it's all
a lot, dude.
Wow.
69, dude. Rock on flamingos. Oh, Esmil, dude.
Party on, Swami.
That's awesome. That's awesome, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I
think we actually have a couple of topics tonight that we're going to cover because I know news is kind of light this week. We were going to talk Halloween games, favorite Halloween games.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a poll in chat
games you might want to see that might be Halloween themed and that kind of stuff. And then we wanted to talk a little bit about either old handhelds or the direction they might go, what might come back, what you might like to see next, that kind of thing. So I think those were the two things that are on the docket that I just sort of went, what are we doing?
That's definitely, and thanks to everyone. Like it's everyone that watches and puts up with my weird videos and flamingo sagas, and it's all you guys that made me reach this, and everybody that watches this show, and these two guys right here.
I just sit here and
please
pretty,
please
but that's not really
like
possible.
These guys, I would just be an idiot. I would be an idiot talking if it wasn't for Geek's insight and talking points and Rab's crazy intelligence and about everything and how things are made and marketed. And I'm just a fan, and I just wanted to keep it going ever since. And to be honest, this all started and cheers to this guy from OEB Pete doing Amico All Access, being such a big fan and believer in this console. And if it wasn't for him, then Amico After Dark wouldn't have came after that. And then after that went away for a bit, I brought this because I didn't want it to end. I had so much fun, and I'm such a huge Intellivision fan, and I'm just so glad we are where we are at this point, and oh my God, we got more super chats.
But it's going to be happening all night, man. I promise you. People are very happy to have you hit 1K, whether they're detractors or fans or anywhere in between, man. I think everybody is, because you're such a nice guy and you've always been so genuine with the community and everybody around you.
A super sticker.
Everybody is pretty much happy to see you hit. Okay.
What's a super sticker?
That's the key word, genuine.
It's just another way of doing the same thing, basically.
Yeah. But it's a $20 super sticker, so Bacon Ice Cream Productions.
I think a little goal animation. Just to,
I gotta figure out how to do
you did good.
I gotta figure out how to do like NLG's got like the little Amico and the little classic Intellivision,
icons.
And all. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do those icons and stuff like that for people so they can like get little animated stickers and stuff.
Get with Mike. Mike's done a bunch of those.
Yeah, I turned everything on once I got approved, so I was like, they're like, what do you want to turn on stickers? I'm like, turn on everything.
I think it's as simple as taking it.
I just sit home. I barely have any money.
Size
do you want a troll magnet?
I don't know. I haven't gotten close to any of this to really start digging into any of it at all. So we had a few more people pop in. Mega Dan popped in. Master System Marceau popped in. Kevin Alvarado just popped in.
Nightmare on Elm Street, right? That's a great game. What's up, Mega Dan? Yeah, Dean TV, by the way, dude. A fellow wrestling...
Dean TV, I'm sorry. Hi, Dean.
Dude, Dean is... We talk some wrestling, man. Like, I still haven't... I need to catch up more on AEW, but I just saw an interview with Shawn Michaels on the MMA something show. It was like I saw it on YouTube. It was like a DraftKings promoted show. I forgot. They interview a lot of MMA guys, but they had Shawn Michaels on there and how the changes and how they want to kind of go back to the old days. I'm still waiting to see that because I feel like they're so like a kid's show, Stu, but I think they're trying to change that back to real wrestling instead of that entertainment puppet show that it's been. But anyways, Dean, I could talk wrestling with you all day, man.
Camaro just popped in. Amico, bro. That's a new name. I haven't seen that one before.
Well, I'm trying to catch up. Once again,
there was somebody I missed that it went by so quick that I missed him, and I'm trying to find him again. I'm trying to keep on top of.
I'm like so. Oh, Kevin Alvarado, what's happening, sir?
I'm sorry.
What's happening?
There we go. Found it.
What are you finding? Hold on.
World of Retro. It's a very long name.
World of Retro Gameplay.
I had it. I found it. I said it.
I'm down to Camaro.
Yeah, World of Retro
Gameplay. That's it.
Dude, yeah, a Frankenstein. Well, was that Frankenstein Homebrew or Frankenstein's Monster, right? Yeah, I want to get that. That had the black and white box art. The Homebrew scene is insane on Intellivision. They just did an Indiana Jones, an E.T. the Extraterrestrial redone like properly. All these Atari 2600 games. Yeah, I'm sorry, Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's what it was. Raiders of the Lost Ark that had updated graphics and control and for Intellivision, but it's the Atari setup, the way the games are, but the graphics and gameplay has been improved. Oh my God, it's just been so awesome, man. But yeah, Frankenstein's Monster. Oh my God, there's so much. Vanguard, Show Must Go On.
Galaxian.
Yeah, I heard they're doing Galaxian. I got to get that. So right now from Intellivision Collector, I've ordered Vanguard. So I'll be doing a video on Vanguard, hopefully in the next couple weeks. I also got Poker Risque. Ooh la la. It's an adult version of like a strip poker for Intellivision. Original and classic Intellivision. This ain't coming out on Amico. Not very family friendly, but
classy.
Right, classy. And then there's a couple. What are the other one I ordered? There's another one called it was like Cloud something, and then they had Beachhead, which is like a war kind of thing with tanks and shooting. And Papa Pete, just go to Papa Pete's channel. And then go to
He
Intellivision.
covers like all that stuff. If you're
he dropped like 3-4 of these
all over it, man.
The gameplay is unbelievable, and I want to buy them all. I just want them all, and I'm striving to get them all.
The secret
I'm to the point now where I might sell one of my pinballs just to buy every Homebrew out right now.
Slappy Marsden coming in with Jaw Dropper. Congrats on 1K subs, Chuck. Well,
I gotta
deserved.
catch up, guys. Oh my God, Thomas! Did you know 1,000 pennies equals $10?
$1K.
1K, dude. Thomas, you're the best, dude. I can't wait for you and your dad to be playing Astro Smash and everything soon. I can't wait to be trying it within hours. So, dude,
did you get your alert?
Much. I'm trying to go through here. JWD, what's happening, man? A young DJ support tab.
I saw something like that in Revenge of the Nerds one day, and I'm like, that list looks gross, and I've never even had an inkling of wanting to try putting a beer in place of milk and zero. That just doesn't even sound right to me for whatever reason.
The Jaw Dropper. He's the one that made the Jaw Dropper.
He absolutely did.
I remember when people used to pour milk into their beer to make it less bitter.
That might work.
I remember
during the whole thing when Review Tech was going off on us. It actually got me some subs. Yeah, he made that right there, Jaw Dropper. That's a Slappy original right there. And so I had to have it put up on what's actually like on a cardboard or a foam board.
That artwork makes my lower mandible extend to the floor.
Yeah.
Are you becoming a python before our eyes wrap?
Yeah.
That's
but anyways, yeah. So he's done some awesome stuff, and last week we kind of showed those off. But
make it in, DJ Beast. Congrats on 1K for $10.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. You guys are the best. Hey, look, the sex bots already showed up. They're so excited.
Wishing you the best.
King Crab.
Oh man!
And if you're interested in the best, go to
what is the best site?
Leaks with Cash. Now, King Crab, are you giving me like vegetable ideas to go with crab legs, possibly?
Yeah,
you said it. You shouldn't have said it. Now it's clipped. DJ Beast. Congrats on the 1K. Dude, Megadan, check out Megadan 29. He has like a game giveaway. I don't know if it's over yet or if you did it. He's like, he mentioned me in it for people to get me up to 1K. Oh, that's right. That's what we were talking about. That's what Rab and you were talking about earlier. That's right. First he kept like petitioning me to get an Amico. Then that happened. And then he kept saying, let's push this guy over to 1K. So really, I owe a lot to Megadan.
Megadan's a really good guy.
He is, but Megadan has the awesome late night. Well, I say late night because it's, I guess, where I'm at. I don't know. I'm in Eastern zone, but I'll be like, if I'm ever like up really late and I'm waiting for something to like upload or render, I'll go to his stream for like an hour and just hang out. And he's always doing like no death runs, completing games or just playing stuff he hasn't. And it's so much fun. Good dude. If anyone hasn't checked out Megadan 29, please do. But thank you so much.
I don't often catch a lot of his streams. I think we're like doing things on YouTube at vastly different times. Because sometimes I'll be able to catch him, or I'll catch a video here and there, but a lot of times I don't see him streaming. And I know he is. I'm just not catching it. Oh, John Alvarado's in chat. Hey, John.
The Atari creep, my buddy, my man, dude, my Amico. we played some Amico together. Spider Fighter is a great Halloween game. You know, so I may play that because on my emulator, I advertised I was going to play Ghostbusters for Atari 2600, but you need the actual console to do the switches, and I don't have a cartridge. I was doing through a Pi, so I can't play that. So I'm looking for an alternative 2600 game. So Spider Fighter might be it, but I also want to try Dark Caverns because I've seen it, but I've never played it. So it's kind of like the M Networks version of Night Stalker for the Atari. But Atari Creep, thank you for the 10 bones, dude. Really.
Master System Marceau, congrats on 1K, Master System, Intellivision.
Hey, it's King Crab. He's here. Don't you start it. He just got here.
He already called me Leaks with Cash, so I assumed he was just giving me vegetable ideas of things to cook up with, you know. I thought he was trying to help.
We just need hot butter.
There is that.
DJ C. John Alvarado, what is happening, sir? Good to see you. What a great dude. I'm doing fantastic, and hello, sir.
Howdy, John.
Trying to catch up here. Oh, thank you, John. I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate that. Yes, I guess we're in celebratory mode. We're starting to eventually talk about. We got. Oh, this is the one you read.
Dude, you're gonna be
Master
doing this
System
Marceau. You're gonna have to learn to run a show and read these out.
I guess we're gonna start doing the super chat readouts. Master System Marceau.
No, don't let the show become that.
Congrats on the 1K Master System. What is that like?
And Intellivision, like together
with Intellivision. If you're a Master System guy and that's what you grew up on, dude, I grew up on Intellivision. Hey, yes,
he's grabbing you and pulling you over to the Master System side. That is clearly what that means. It's not a good thing.
I do like it.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know.
Master System's a great system.
Yeah, I
struggle with the Master System. All the movement feels a little off to me. But I think it's because I grew up on NES and it just feels different.
What was the
it does. We talked about this, but it's got a lot of potential.
What was the one? Golden Axe.
Warrior.
What's the RPG one? RPG.
Golden Axe Warrior.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one I wanted because Bacon Ice Cream was playing that. I was like, I really need to try to get into that.
It's basically like a Zelda clone. It moves very differently, but it feels a lot like Zelda.
Yeah, it's Zelda with some like Dragon Warrior elements. I think there's like a little town or some shop.
So Humble Monsters in the house. We have Mike Garcia hasn't knowledge yet. Handheld King is in the house. I think one or two other people. Stacey Kramer popped in as well.
Tunnel Runner. See, I gotta look. I gotta look.
Sneak Chucky popped in.
Tunnel Runner's great.
Oh, Sneak Chucky's
Travis
awesome.
Grant popped in. Hey,
Travis, in the Halloween groove, like the song.
Really good first-person sort of runner maze.
Yeah. Cat, you talking about Dark Cavern?
No, Tunnel Runner.
Tunnel Runner.
CBS,
that's right.
CBS Video.
And John Alvarado coming in with the update. I just checked the FedEx tracking. Originally, it was supposed to arrive today, but tracking says it will arrive tomorrow.
Well, that's because Mike.
Yeah, Mike didn't send it fast enough because obviously it's the same unit, right?
Yeah, the system is so much fun. He couldn't put it in the box.
It was too much.
We'll see when he gets it.
Or there's multiple units. No way. But yeah, I know. So guys,
I really want you to do an unboxing.
So now that the cat's out of the bag here, so I've been following this tracking thing. So this is what FedEx did, and this is on FedEx. So the whole thing, it was like arriving early, coming in, so this morning I got up, I did some arcade stuff, had to pick up some cabinets, and my buddy's like, hey, you gotta make sure you're home. I was like, yeah, let's just go up the street, get these cabinets, come back. And I'm like, okay, any minute, right? I'm having coffee. This is at like 9 a.m., right? I'm like, okay. Gets to be about 11. I'm like, checking the update. Nothing updated. Okay, still saying it's arriving today. Okay. And then it was like, okay, mid-afternoon to like around 5. It started, then I was like sitting on my couch, just, door open, kind of just waiting. And then finally I go, oh man, it's about 5 o'clock now. So I make something to eat. I'm like, I'm going to go check the update. It's still saying, and then it's like, okay, by end of day, 8 p.m. tonight. So I'm like, still in time for the show. Okay, so we can do this, dude. I want to kind of show it. And then sure enough, it was just about an hour before the show started. It updated saying, arriving tomorrow. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So I really planned as having the Amico on as our 4th guest and another guest as well. But that'll have to be for next week. But like I said, within hours, you'll see some fantastic Amico
tweets,
news, content, and unveiling on the channel. So stay tuned. But thanks, John. Yeah, no, Richard Crocker cannot touch it, dude. He's not allowed to touch it. Actually, Richard would probably be able to touch it before what's his name? I'm like, what's his name? Art Big Fall will. I don't like Art Big Fall. Please do an unboxing. You want to see I'm just gonna be smiling. Yeah, I'm gonna do a lot of stuff. But we'll see. Because remember, I'm under NDA, so I got to see what I can show and stuff like that. Because I'm going to be seeing new stuff that no one's seen at an unreleased product. So obviously that's part of an NDA. So I'm not going to tick anybody off. I'm happy to be part of this.
Birdman Senpai has popped in.
Yeah, I'm literally like we're about. Hold on, I'm about
same humble.
Alberta, a ridge. Yeah, there we go.
Because no stranger to delays. That's funny.
We've heard.
Yeah, maybe Art Big Fall works at FedEx. That's what John's saying. Yeah. Oh my God, we got another super chat in here.
Mr. Big Block.
Big Block Plymouth, dude.
Hey, Big Block.
Oh man, you were awesome. Made it home in time to say congratulations again to DJC and the 1K. I'm sure it has gone to your head, but I'm still a big fan. It's awesome, man. It's like I've worked so hard to even reach this. And like I said, it's just the real way too. I know the big thing these days is people buying or, doing stuff like this is literally all you guys just watching my stupid, weird, silly content. And very organic. And I appreciate it. I so appreciate it.
And I know we've had those conversations before about
awesome.
Getting to that point of having like the community tab and getting to this point where, your videos are getting views and getting out there and growing the community kind of organically. So I'm super happy for you. And I'm super happy that, you've got these new tools to play with and engage and can do some of those things that you always wanted to do. So it's definitely an exciting time.
712 popped in chat, by the
way. Please do a live unboxing. Yeah, I was kind of going to do something like that because I thought it was literally going to arrive like right as the show was starting, but no. Oh, really? All right. Let me catch. By the way, do we mention Luke's Awakening? Nick, you need to eat king crab. Yeah, it's the only way. It's the only way.
There can be only one.
Yeah. Kevin says I can show the Amico power brick, and that's it. I will show you how it plugs into the. Can I show how it plugs into the wall?
You can't show how it plugs into the wall. No.
That is showing functionality. I cannot show that.
Yeah,
that's right.
Not on a North American power line. This is the German. This is Hans' unit. So it's.
Oh, is that what it?
It will blow stuff up.
He already has eyes on me. I see Nick. He looks hungry. He wants some crab legs and king crab legs. Today is payday for you. Yeah, dude. I didn't even well, I mean, I know I'm monetized now, but like I didn't expect all this. This is freaking amazing, dude. Will you be able to show gameplay? I'm hoping I have to check what I'm able to show, to be honest.
Apparently I'm making King Crab nervous. I do know why.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up to stuff, man.
You need to eat something.
I keep seeing the
You're not used to you out of your normal environment.
Yeah, this is what we said. Like, how about a boxing video? Yes, we're gonna put it back in the box, like we said last year. So He's saying, I want my Amico, and he got his Amico. Let's all hope DHC gets his Christmas wish as well. Ah, you're funny. You're funny, Tommy. As Bill says, I plugged.
Chuck needs to work on the Now We All Get Our Amico song.
Magic Smoke released. Paradox Harris says,
you'll have to make some crab linguine.
They do have some Intellivision stuff at the National Game Museum. They had, I think, wasn't it the heat tested ECS yes. unit as well as an Intellivision 2?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have some Intellivision display at the Strong as well. Museum of Play.
What did you say? It sounds like you can show everything except gameplay, and Alvarado says you and Mike are allowed to show them the same. Hey, I would love to do that. It's just FedEx decided tomorrow would be the delivery date. So, best Christmas song ever. Not very family friendly, but that'll be on a separate channel. All right. Oh my God, I'm back. Okay, we're down there. So we only spent about 40 minutes on that. 40
minutes in. Do you want to do topics?
Yeah. Oh, my camera's freaking out, dude. This old camera, as I pointed up in the ceiling. There you go. There's some rafters and a spotlight. It's starting to twitch on me. It's almost on its way out. I need to find out what brand this is because this was like the $15.99 like I was gonna say chef
Kurt
special.
Bradshaw in the house with a $5 super sticker.
Oh, Kurt Bradshaw, you're awesome. I gotta figure out what I gotta add like stickers in there, or is it just not show super sticker? I don't know. I thought it would have like a sticker of like a guy like this or something. But Kurt's been a big part of this.
Crab legs do matter.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate that, Kurt. Man, that is awesome. I just love seeing you guys interact and being here and both on Astro Smash Mondays with the Homebrews and Papa Pete and Go Game Go and doing all that stuff, and then coming, and doing the high score challenges. Then every Wednesday is always fun to talk to everyone here. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, I was caught up, but I think I've
there is no catching up. You're always behind.
There's no catching up. No, that's what I'm saying. We're caught up to topic.
You're just gonna have to run a show, dude.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to run a show, and
we'll try to keep on top of chat as much as we can. If you're gonna run a show, you're gonna have to run a show. You commonly got like 60 plus people in here. Chat is busy.
Yeah. So the kids are falling asleep a little sooner, so it's so, you don't have to go out.
So as far as I'm going to check. So we have a poll going, which is I obviously can only pick 4.
I can wander the streets for you, Mega Dan.
Ooh, I'm lucky, right? So we had favorite Halloween or horror game, so I could do 4. So I kind of did what I kind of was around. I did put one on there that I've never played, which is not getting many votes. Nightmare on Elm Street NES, one of my favorites. That's at 19% right now. Night Stalker on the Intellivision, 33%. Halloween on Atari, the game I've never played, but I know of, 4%. Splatterhouse series, 1, 2, and 3, which were on the TurboGrafx, PC Engine, and Sega Genesis, that's at 44% and winning right now. So that is awesome. I think I'm still glitching out.
A little bit here and there.
You're pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's pretty it's just everybody's got their own. How many was it? So we got about 90, almost 100 votes. We got 94 votes in. So keep going on that because I'm curious, to see because there's
the camera I want to get better at is Splatterhouse because I love the look and aesthetic of Splatterhouse.
So great.
I just can't play that game.
Well, 2. Have you played just one? Have you played 2? 2 is even. 2 and 3
think it might have been
really
2 because I want to say I played the Genesis one. I might have started with the TurboGrafx one. I remember getting past the haunted house once, where like all the stuff is bouncing around the room and attacking you, and then I got to like the third boss, which was this dude with like chainsaws.
That you got to carry
get past him.
Well, what you got to do at the beginning of that stage, there's a shotgun, which most people pick up right away and start shooting everything. What I do is at the beginning of that stage, you pick up that shotgun where it's the raining and you're outside, and all you do is jump over. You don't interact with anything. You jump over everything, avoid everything all the way to the end, And when you get there, there's the second shotgun laying there to take him out. Now you have 2. So you shoot all your bullets. You kind of drop, pick up until you get to him, and you have 2 shotguns there with 6 shots. So you blast the first 6 and then blast the next, I think it's 4 or maybe it's all 6. And he's taken out easily. You just keep him at bay with that. You have to carry. That's the easiest way.
At least 2 shots on the first one, and then I think I had the full rounds on the next one, and I could just never. After that, I couldn't get on him to do any damage. Like every time I get close, it would knock me back, and I couldn't get any further. And then the last time I played it, I couldn't get past the haunted house stage. Like I couldn't figure out the placement where everything starts bouncing around, so I could hit it. And just took too much damage.
Yeah, there's another. I mean, it's hard because I just did one, and I pulled it up on MAME. I did like the arcade version, which is even a nicer control. I mean, the graphics aren't too different; they're a little nicer. But yeah, there's a few different ones that are just it. I'd say 2 plays a little bit better with the control, but 3 is almost like you're playing Splatterhouse Double Dragon. Because it's straight up beat 'em up, and you're going room to room to beat things up, and then you have a power up where you turn into this giant, and it looks like the mask.
I think I've seen that one, but didn't they do something like that with the 360? Wasn't it? Like
and then the 360 version one is amazing. Yeah. That is a unbelievable one. Those are some of the. By the way, I just keep looking. Oops, I pulled the wrong one thing.
I know nothing about Splatterhouse after Video Game Magazine circa 1993.
Like I said, I've messed with it here and there because it looked like a neat series. It's just not one I could really get into heavily. I've been kind of going back and onto my own kind of personal backlog with stuff like Ninja Gaiden, Zero Mission. I want to go through Fusion.
Oh yeah, Intellivision.
Cap, stuff like that. Not Halloween thing, but that's just kind of like where my backlog is.
Have you played Halloween on the 2600?
I have not.
No, just the emulator.
Yeah, I grabbed some footage of it, but
like I've said, I never even played it at all. So I'm like,
I found some footage online because one's kind of hard to get. I guess
those are expensive games. I think.
You can emulate it, but it's a really expensive game if you want to buy it.
Yeah, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Those were pretty expensive.
I've actually seen someone play Chainsaw Massacre, which is pretty funny. Splatter. Really, it's the only 360 game you played? Oh man, I was all about like the Guitar Heroes and the rock bands and. There was a Golden Axe Beast Warrior. There's a Golden Axe. No, Golden Axe Beast was a Beast Rider.
Beast Rider, I think, is Beast what Rider. It was. And that one, nobody really seems to like that one. It's a little funky because you can only play as like the female character, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But
I played a lot of
the whole gameplay feels so alien compared to everything else that they did with Golden Axe that it kind of comes off a little generic.
Yeah, it was such a big departure.
Yeah,
I think in that whole era with like Ninja Gaiden and Rygar and Shadowrun was another one that they really took a big departure.
It's a Roman book.
Yeah, I don't think I ever tried. I don't think I ever tried either Shadowrun, quite frankly.
Oh, those are really good games. But yeah,
and then
whole trying to rework some of those older big 2D titles into by that point 3D was much better off, but trying to work them in those new environments just really felt weird at the time. I think it worked today. I don't know that it worked that well. I feel like
they need to go back and either do it pixelated like they did the new Turtles launch, or try the cel shaded look like Streets of Rage 4. And on a lot of those, I think that would work. If you go more of a comic book style, I think some of those would work really, really well.
Yeah.
So Halloween on 2600 produced for the same company that made the movie Puppet Master with like the guy with the big hands, the pinhead dude or whatever.
Yeah, that's also the same company that made Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Matter of fact, that video game studio, I want to say it's like Wizard Video Games or whatnot. They went out of business because of those 2 titles.
Let's play something completely random. Well, welcome.
Everybody went out of business then.
Well, they went out of business earlier because those 2 titles nobody wanted to sell over the counter. They kept them behind the counter, and a lot of times you had to ask for it because otherwise they wouldn't sell it because they were afraid of the graphic nature of the content. Because the Texas Chainsaw one, you were actually playing Leatherface running around killing people.
Right, you literally had the little chainsaw,
death
little
race of its day.
things on it.
Yeah, and then
Death Race, another
Halloween,
one. Homebrew too.
When your babysitter got killed, it did that whole little blood spurt from the neck thing, which looks kind of jank now, but at the time that was like, oh my god. So
at least it wasn't gray sweat.
That's true. That's true. They did have.
Super
they
Nintendo.
They did play
Mortal Kombat.
I can't speak. They did pay the blood the respect it deserves.
The homage. Yeah.
But anyways, yes, it
good
is.
Good use
still
of that
out.
Atari 2600 palette.
It's good. Yes. We'll have a unit. Well, I'll be showing my unit next week on the show and on the channel. So please subscribe. Check it out.
I may be missing from next week's episode.
Was it? Yeah, the Charles Band produced them. Okay, gotcha.
Lollipop Chainsaw is a Halloween game. I can go with that. That's one of those I skipped that I kind of wish I hadn't because it just looks like goofy fun, and I totally bypassed it for whatever reason.
I do love showing off. Anyways, what we're gonna see?
Thanks,
what we're gonna say is it needs to be a homebrew Leprechaun game for the Commodore 64. Only the first 3 movies, not the Space or Hood movies. Dude, I used to the Leprechaun movies. They are weird. Didn't they just do like a reboot or try to do a reboot on one of those?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
Why? The originals were the best.
Let's play something completely random popping in the chat and saying
brought back Warwick Davis for Willow.
Halloween game. I can go with Symphony of the Night. Actually, I can go with anything in the vein of Castlevania games. I think the first one especially pays so much homage to the original Hammer-styled monsters that it's a fantastic game to play around this holiday.
Yeah.
Showing your unit and instantly blowing your monetization. Nostalgic.
You know, it happens sometimes.
Came in.
I got to find out what part of my unit I can show.
JW,
you guys
saying
just
Kid
have
Dracula
just
is the best
in mind.
I have not played that one yet. It looks really cute and fun. Darkstalkers is another good one to play around this time. Absolutely.
Here you go, Kid Dracula.
I wish they would revitalize that fighting series. I really do.
Oh, here we go. How about a Texas Instrument Speak and Spell Epic Battle?
I would totally run the floor with you guys on some quiz whiz.
Probably. I don't do Speak and Spell or Texas Instruments anymore.
The little professor.
Oh my god, I have one. I have one. Like I don't have one anymore. I had I'm going to tell you guys something really nerdy, and this is probably I don't care.
Why we're all
nerdy?
Here.
No.
I'm just cool, dude. I do rap music. I'm cool. Drink beer because no. But anyways, so as a kid, I had a little professor calculator. As always, everyone had one because they were awesome. And so what I ended up doing, and do you remember Question or Question? It was like a little pen that you'd go on the book and you'd hit yes, no, answer stuff, and it'd go and it had a red light, and blue, and a green light. It
was similar to what's his name from Picture Pages.
Yeah. Picture Pages. Well, we don't talk about that no more. But
I'm in the dark on these.
Poor little pen did nothing to anybody.
Devices, but go ahead, guys.
Poor little pen. Show me on the pen. No, I am. Yeah, I'm very nerdy. I'm very nerdy. Quiz whiz. But anyways, I took
read. He just popped in chat. Biceps is in chat. Hey, go on.
So I'm going to tell you how nerdy
amused I one. That's what that is. Okay, I totally read that wrong. Wow. Yeah. I totally butchered the pronunciation.
Even by hour 3, we're there with you and erasing one.
No, so what I did because I was a huge Ghostbusters fan, right? And I literally created my own backpack. Like I took a piece like cardboard. I think it was like the top of like a game box. Mind you, I was young. I was a kid, so I was smaller. But I took the top of like the box of like Operation and like covered it in duct tape. And then I took like all these big capacitors. And I don't know, in their garage, we had all this electrical stuff and wiring. And then I took a Frisbee for the bottom and did the 4 like lights, what it was supposed to be. Did this whole thing. I took my Transformer. Now think about how much this would be worth nowadays. Shockwave. You know Shockwave, the purple Transformer? You know Shockwave?
Mm-hmm.
I took him wrapped him all in
Nick, are you aware of Transformers?
In silver duct tape. I mean, he still functioned, but I mean, he was the proton gun. Now he's all done, and I had him go into a holster attached with a big cord. Then I took my little
Did
professor.
Did you say shockwave or soundwave? Because I think you're thinking shockwave.
Shockwave. Soundwave is the cassette.
Soundwave's the cassette player. Shockwave is the gun.
Shockwave's the gun.
Cannon.
So then I took my little professor and my Questron, put them together, and I took these two because I'm crazy and I'm just a kid. And I love duct tape. And I duct taped them together, threw some wires in and some lights. And then I used the Questron like lights, and I would touch the bottom. I knew exactly if you pressed a certain spot, it would turn red, and press a certain other spot, it turned green, so I could tell if there was a ghost or no ghost. And I turned it into a ghost detector, and I put these little things that went like that on it, the little arms. I was nuts, and then I went to people. Then we walked. Me and my friends would walk the neighborhood. I even made T-shirts, and I drew the logo on it. And we walked around and we were like, oh, sorry. Like we go to certain like younger kids. They'd be like, I was like, we got to check. We got a routine ghost check. We got to come in here. Yeah, your backyard's haunted. I mean, we're going to have to bring the ghost traps in. So then we go back. It's so stupid. But when you brought up the little professor, that's where I went with that. So if you guys don't want to do the show anymore,
shockwave and duct tape.
Mind you, I'm like 10 years old, dude.
This
so
is
like what
37 times more effort than I've ever put into any Halloween costume.
And I just did this during the summer. And then when I got mind you, then I got to about 12 years old, and I learned that an aerosol can and a lighter made these flames shoot out. So we duct taped an aerosol can and a lighter at the end of Shockwave.
And you were Ripley?
Oh, could you imagine? Like it could have blown up in my face. And we go around, and the greatest thing ever, and I'll never forget this, is we had it was me and my buddy, and we both did them. We're like showing people. It basically looked like a flamethrower. And we have these backpacks, and some parents came out, and they're like, and they see us with all this equipment on, which is stupid, and we've upgraded it by then. Now we're really serious about it. Everything's painted in black with a marker. Anyway, it's stupid. And these parents come out, they're like, get away from the house, stop walking around with your fake backpacks. And then the kid's like starts crying and goes, and keep those flaming streams away from me. They really work. And I thought it was like the coolest. And the parents like, wait, what? And then we just walked away, and I'm like, they think they're real. They think we really had electrical streams shooting at their child.
You're terrorizing the upper class.
We're terrorizing like 7-year-olds when we're 12. Yeah. Like, what did it matter? Yeah, WD. That's what it was. It was WD-40 and a lighter. That's exactly what we used, man. But it was So talk about nerd. I mean, I should have the statue, like the Oscar award for being a nerd, because that's pretty freaking nerdy right there. That's taking like cosplay to like the next level. But that's awesome, man.
Very cool.
What does Rab think about the old 1980s dates on new physical homebrews, i.e. new indie? Oh yeah, the Indiana Jones, it said 1980, copyright 1980 Atari, but instead of saying like 2022 Intellivision, which was kind of weird. I thought that was a little weird too.
This is the first cool. I've heard about it, but I mean, if it's taking an Atari title and it's remaking the Atari title, at this rate, they're basically going to remake the entirety of the Atari library within the next 3 years with as much as they're putting out. Okay, maybe not 3 years. That's exaggerating. If it's something that's commonly known, I'm fine with it. I mean, you can pay homage to the fact that this is a 1980 game or a 1982 game that you are remaking. I think 82 in the case of Indiana Jones. But, this is, like I said, for the community that is buying homebrews, that are buying these directly and understand that it wasn't released in 1982, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure there will be, some articles in some way to verify this stuff in, 2087, once most of us are gone and people are looking into this to see when it was released. There's a lot of documentation.
Indy RacingNet says he used to launch his sister's Barbie dolls using model rockets. They kept disappearing. You mean even after they parachuted back, you didn't find a doll? Like 20 miles away in a village, there's a doll just laying burnt up on the ground. That's funny.
Chat went dark.
It went really dark. Well, I started it, so I.
Is there something wrong with my camera, Tommy?
Great to see nerds and geeks keep conspire together. Not sure where Rap fits. Oh, what happened?
Rap, your camera was fine, dude.
Yeah, your camera's fine.
Yeah, I just had a request, so you know.
Oh, I get what you know. I think he was talking about when Nick was doing the old, but we're not going to do that because we want to stay. We want to stay nice and family friendly.
They want me to like flip up the chat again.
Yeah, we're not doing
I was ignoring.
Not no more.
Oh yeah.
We did a lot of jokes before, but we're not cussing or flipping.
I'm totally not here. Go ahead.
Okay. We'll flip.
I'll paste me back in and post. I'm good.
All right, I get it now. The only good doll is a dead doll. Well, they do come to life at night for the most part. Oh, I used to have the creature from the Black Lagoon, Stretch Armstrong, like the green one, like the reptile monster, and that was my favorite. But the Stretch Armstrong I had, he got punctured in like his pectoral and it started leaking. It started leaking, and I was just like, oh man, I was like, all the jelly's coming out, and I remember the smell of that jelly, and I was like, I had put like a Band-Aid or duct tape because I love duct tape. I put everything over it I could because my mom saw it. Any broken toy or anything broken, she'd throw it in the garbage. I was like, I had to hide that, and then she eventually.
My mom broke my Stretch Armstrong and then rewrapped it, and then when I played with it and pulled it, and all the gel just started coming out of his arm.
Oh, it's like, oh
no, what happened? And my dad came clean like 2 weeks later.
What's up, Luke?
You know your mom broke that already.
As you see on the ticker down here, that's funny, dude. Like I just remember the smell of that gel, like how that smelled.
You don't forget that.
So I just remember being like on my staircase and my buddy pulling it. He was walking like down the stairs, and I was up on the top, and we pulled it, and that pectoral repped like a lot, and a lot of that oozed. I just remember the smell and standing there. It was like the middle of the 80s.
Yeah, it's like aerosoled asbestos, I think.
Yeah, oh, probably.
That sounds truly awful. I never had a Stretch Armstrong. It wasn't like I was always, my two main toy lines were like G.I. Joe and Transformers growing up. I had some GoBots too. GoBots to an extent.
Dude, I loved GoBots.
I got big into Turtles. I got big into He-Man for a little while. You know, all those kind of like mainstream toys that the kids
check out
at the time.
Check out this website right here on the ticker, Intellivisioncollector.com. If you're looking to get some of these fantastic homebrews that we've been talking about, like Show Must Go On, Vanguard, some of these new ones, was it Cloudfire, Operation Cloudfire, Beachhead? Oh my God, they're just unbelievable the stuff they're doing now on this new console. On this classic Intellivision console, but yeah. Please check out Intellivision Collector. What's going on, Luke? Good to see you, man. Yes, skeleton flamingos. Yeah, did you? Okay, I got to pull this up. Have you seen there's a new Garbage Pail Kids coming?
A lot of people have been talking about this. I haven't picked it up. I think you could probably buy it and get the ROM, but I haven't messed with it. Man. I saw some. I want to say I saw a couple pictures of it, like a little bit before its release, but I didn't really go hunting for it.
Papa Shango from WWF, that's all. They were all rubber back in the day, too.
Man Machines in the house. Congratulations on 1K, old man. I'm making a podcast called Amico for never. You've just been Man Machine, DJ Fart.
I don't know if that's really the greatest insult, Man Machine. You used to be a lot better. Is Panda holding you back?
Yeah, his jokes are a little
Tell me on the cardboard where Panda held you back.
Totally missed my cardboard joke. It's okay.
Oh, you missed it. What'd you say?
I said that joke was a little flat.
Like this guy. A little flat. Just a little flat. Left me rather flat.
Cut it out, you guys.
Man Machine.
Rob coming in with like the very quick dig at Man Machine.
I'm sure when that comes
to time, cut him to the core.
Yeah, remember I said make a DJ. I make a DJ. Yeah, make a DJC game. DJC Bowling for Beers is what I want. No, I want Garbage Pail Kids game. I thought that would have been good for the Amico, having them, because they were working with Tops for like their gift cards and their cards and stuff. So I did a video over a year ago about basically saying there could be a Garbage Pail Kids game or do something with this. And now it's happening, and they're doing it on NES Homebrew. They're doing like is it all 8-bit version, or I know it's coming out on Switch and PS5 and all that stuff too. But
I don't know. I'll look it up because I haven't actually looked it up.
What I saw, I think I saw Hancock do a video on it because it just happened to come up after something I was watching, and I was like, oh my god, and that's how I found out. So I have to look into it more, but it's coming for all platforms. But yeah, I'm so excited about that. I definitely want to buy the physical for that, though, for sure.
And Mike and the Quest for Stale Gum, I think is what they've got here.
Yep, that's exactly what it's
physical
called.
one is shipping Q1 of 2023.
Oh, Luke saw it at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, where a lot of these homebrews were announced and shown. That'll be available on Intellivisioncollector.com.
It's pretty pricey, honestly. The site's wanting like $80.
For the physical?
Yeah.
I tell you what,
it
the
like
Garbage Pail Kid collectors, it'll be double that in a year. It'll be double that within the following year.
Is that kind of normal?
You have to realize, I mean, they're making small batch runs. I mean, to get the PCB boards, PCBs for this, they're probably doing it it's barely at cost.
Yeah, they're only doing like a limited run of like 4,000 of them, I think.
$70-$80 is pretty typical for a lot of these home brews.
Yeah. I mean, the cart looks cool.
Yeah, the digital version is usually cheaper, but I mean, if you're going to get the cart and you're going to get the, the ROM.
Oh, dude, if there's
PCB.
8-bit carts, I'd get the Switch version and the NES version for sure.
Go ahead and bring up my screen because I've got it on there.
There's no music or videos, right?
No music or video. I actually like this because you got the blue card, you got the pink one,
dude.
And those look like the kind of bubblegum colors that you would have in a pack of cards.
The wax packs.
Yeah.
That looks like a 1989 Trapper Keeper.
Yeah. That's what it should look like. That's the era it's from. So I'm totally down with that. There's a bigger thing of the box.
Is there an equivalency of Garbage Pail Kids for kids today?
Yeah, it's called Mad Mike and
I don't think so.
Like LOL dolls.
I don't think they do anything like that today. I mean,
they still do. I collect them.
Well, I mean, they still make Garbage Pail Kids, but is there equivalent for kids of that age today, though? And I don't think there.
Like new stuff? Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
like, is there some sort of toy line that appeals to like the late 80s and 90s? We had all this stuff that was like kind of grotesque, like what's boglins and snot things coming out of squeezable faces and stuff.
Yeah, I know. We had like Mad Balls, and
Mad Balls.
Yeah, most of those kind of like gross out kind of toys, like the Mad
it looks like the same as the
Mad
blue.
Balls, Garbage Pail Kids. Those were like very a mid '80s to early '90s kind of thing.
It says 2 cartridge variants: Stale Gum Pink and Mad Mike Blue.
Yep.
Those are really terrible jokes, Man Machine, and I wish Panda Sub would come back. Can you tell him to come back instead of your jokes? That'd be great. You're not going to be on the Halloween special.
This is a Weight Watchers non-sponsorship channel. We don't Jenny Craig here.
It's for everything, Esmil. I know it's coming out on all the other consoles, but a physical is.
I mean, it looks. This is the run for the NES, but apparently you can get a Steam code for the Windows version, so there's going to be a Windows version of it as well. So I would imagine it's probably going to hit, if they can get it on there, probably like Switch, PlayStation, all those.
If a Review Tech invited you on a stream, would you go on? I don't really know Review Tech, so I don't think so.
I haven't watched this stuff in a very long time.
Well, we've all heard of Review Tech. He's pretty common around.
I mean, I don't know the guys.
I
don't
would not, because I don't think we would have much to discuss, quite frankly.
Right, yeah. I think he just does like drama stuff. I do games, so I don't know. It could be a great mix. Is it okay? The trash pack is the new current one. I gotta see because they probably have new ones. Thank you, Tommy. You probably still have. You literally have the public from. Yes, it's still right up there. Boop. I ain't getting rid of it. That was a gift by Mr. Nick, Geeks with Cash.
Along with the hat, which seemed to be problematic after a couple of wears.
Oh no, I still got the hat.
I'm sure you got it around there somewhere. It was problematic.
I used it for a couple.
You tried to put it on.
Slim Fast versus Jenny Craig. Smash that like button.
So I don't know if we have time, but I know we were going to talk. We've tried to do handhelds a couple of times, particularly old handhelds.
We've broached the topic.
Game Gear, Game Boy, Lynx, those kinds of things. I know Mattel
Electronics.
A fan of the Nomad, but the Nomad
I like
basically just a
TurboExpress
portable
Nomad.
Genesis, in my opinion.
I like the same thing. And this is what we were starting to talk about before we even started the show. Is and I'll say this and I'll let you guys go on handhelds because I didn't. My thing was, and this is me as a younger kid, not as now, but I kind of feel the same way now. Okay. I'm playing Sega Genesis. Why would I buy Game Gear? You're like, well, that way, you can play portable games. It's okay, but it's not the decent. They're all crappier versions.
It's inferior. Yeah.
Crappier versions of the stuff I could play on a console.
I would argue no. But we'll go into that. Finish your
and I'm sure there is. And trust me,
that was my thinking back in the day too. They're all inferior.
But
I'll go with the home system.
Well, yeah, and I always, in my mind I was like, well, then why would I want to play those? I'd rather, I was the guy like a perfect example. When I went camping, I would get a little portable TV and an adapter to play, and we had one of those vans when we go camping, and I used to do I used to tent it, and then eventually I'd just sleep in the back of the van, and I'd plug in a little portable TV and my actual Nintendo and bring a few games and play. I'd only have so much time or have to start the car or whatever. But I'm saying I couldn't, a handheld didn't make any sense to me. But when stuff like Turbo Express came out, when I can take the games I'm playing at home on a trip in the car and play those same games on a handheld, absolutely. Then the Nomad came out, which is a portable Sega Genesis or Sega Genesis, however you'd like to call it. But yeah, the Nomad of the Turbo Express, to me, that was portable gaming systems, exactly like what you play at home using the same games. And that's what I liked more. Nowadays with technology, obviously you can play anything you want on a handheld. But that's what I feel. But I'll let you guys discuss your favorite and your experiences, because I had none. I had no handheld experience.
For our non-stateside audience, it's a Sega Mega Drive.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I would argue. Exactly what it's called. I can kind of see your viewpoint, but I would argue that the Game Boy itself kind of took off on its own, and to an extent, the Game Gear did too. You did have similar experiences hitting the platform, but you had some experiences like there was a Revenge of Shinobi game in there that had 4 different ninjas that you could swap between that all had different powers and different capabilities. Chacon the Forever Man was a completely different game on the Game Gear, and in my opinion, probably superior to the Genesis version trying to emulate or make another version of. You would have things like Link's Awakening that came out on Game Boy, and had Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, Minish Cap, Fusion, Zero Mission. Tons of these things were new and unique experiences. There were only portable experiences. Gargoyle's Quest on the Game Boy is another one. That's a vastly different experience than Ghosts and Goblins, whereas you actually play as the Red Devil through that, and you're questing through that whole thing. It's a completely unique and different experience than what you get, and made completely for the Game Boy, intentionally. There were several Castlevania games on there as well. Things like that. Yeah, you have ports like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that may or may not have been as good, but got some unique gameplay there. I feel like that the more I kind of go back and look at it now, particularly since I've got some on my Steam Deck or got collections, they're worth paying some attention to, I feel like, in retrospect.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this topic is okay, I know some of you guys are like, what are you talking about? The Game Gear inferior or something? this was an opinion 30 years ago when you're comparing it to, a Genesis or a Nintendo, and then you see, some of the games that are on the Lynx or the Game Boy, which was, shades of green and, very limited, very small screen. You could hardly see it. And if you're in the wrong kind of light, you can't see it. So there's definite limitations there. And yet those systems are very successful. And I think as those systems were, not just a portable version of what the NES was or a portable version of the Sega Master System or the Genesis, but they were allowed to kind of specialize in some games that you don't really see on those home systems. I mean, when you're buying a system when you're buying a game for, the Nintendo Entertainment System, you're probably not thinking about a 5-minute game that you're plugging in and playing while you're at a doctor's office. It's not really a good system that's designed like, what would be a great system for the Nintendo? Clacks or Columns or Tetris. It's just not.
Tetris is, puzzle games.
It's not the way that system is really thought. Like that, there's no perceivable value in making that game because you're expected to make a game that's going to be 30 hours. Or like today, you're expected to make a game that is 100 hours, 60 hours. If you're going to be spending $60 for a game, you want hours of use out of it. And there was no real place for these small disposable experiences. Now, of course, this is before mobile, and now we have mobile, but with mobile, we have the touch screen. We're using the same screen that we're using for our play space, so it is very limited. I think we're kind of missing out on a whole category of game experiences, stuff that is going on the Playdate right now, stuff that was going on the 3DS, that are just unique gaming experiences that those old gaming handhelds were tackling. Things like Clacks, things like Columns.
Well, and the 3DS brings its own experience because it actually gives you one of the better 3D experiences. Yeah, I feel like that kind of stereoscopic 3D experiences that gotten period.
Yeah,
because home consoles don't cover it. VR covers it very well, but that feels completely different than, say, something like the 3DS being able to use that 3D slider to be able to bring that experience to you. And some games benefited a lot from it. Several of the Mario games and Lego games worked exceptionally well on that system because of the different view angle you could get with the 3-dimensional slider. And that was a new experience. Being able to have 2 screens for the DS gave you unique experiences that you can't really replicate well now.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there was like some game about like cells and stuff that you were doing with the DS and things that you were using the 2 screens very in interesting manners that you don't really think about putting that on a home system, or it gets lost in the shuffle, or with mobile, it gets lost in the shuffle. There's something about an ecosystem, a dedicated thing, like what Playdate is doing, like what these old handhelds had, that I think gaming, with all of our focus on AAA, with all of our focus on the couple of indies that will push through and get some of that darling spotlight, we miss out on some of that unique approach that would have gone onto a 3DS or would have gone onto a Vita or a PSP or one of these older systems. I think it's like it's part of gaming that we've left behind, and I think we're leaving stuff behind that mobile is not filling that niche, and that the home systems are not filling the niche. When I look at the 3DS library, the Switch library is so much fuller, but I see a lot of ports. I see a lot of stuff that, I see that on Steam. I see that elsewhere. I would love to be able to see some of those unique things that we were seeing for the DS or the 3DS.
Yeah, and then there's like the DS games where you would hold the system like it was a book.
Yeah.
There was like a hotel mystery game where you held it like it was a book. One was on one side, one was the other. Ninja Gaiden, I think, also on the DS did something similar where you could hold it like a book in certain sequences.
I haven't done that one.
The Mario and Luigi RPG games on there was a section where you were playing like Bowser, and you had to hold it like this because Bowser was so big on the screen, right? Things like that. And that's where I feel like handheld gaming is great. And I would like to see things like the Switch take advantage of games that were better in, say, a portable mode, or things that would come out on the Steam Deck that would take advantage of the touchscreen in certain ways that it would be good in portable mode, things of that nature, or bring back something like the Game Boy, right, in such a manner that you could bring back to life some of these things that I feel like have kind of been lost to the annals of time, because even Nintendo themselves doesn't really seem interested in bringing their Game Boy Color, their Game Boy, their GBA library to the Switch or to any other any other medium right now. And I would like to see them be able to bring something like the DS back, because some of those games, like trying to emulate them, could be a little tricky.
The Intellivision stuff is great on the DS with the double screen because you have your overlay on the bottom or on the.
Well, yeah, if you could get it on there, that would work great. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean it is on there. They have the Nintendo
they got
DS.
it on there. Okay.
Yeah, and that was how they did it. It was actually able to play the games like they were meant to be because
that's a fantastic
Television Lives.
Yep.
Yeah.
Television Lives is on there.
So I mean, stuff like that is a really good idea and a really good use of having those particular features.
Thanks, Creep. Good to see you, Chris.
I would really like to see something like the Steam Deck be able to hook up to, like, say, a computer or another system and be able to use the Steam Deck screen as, like, another screen, kind of like a DS, right?
Yeah.
Use it in conjunction with something. Do something clever with it.
Yeah.
Steam likely won't do that because they're not super... They never really...
Or the Evercade controllers with the new... with
yes.
the DS.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
Although it's not touchscreen, you still have the screen.
I still feel like this is a missed opportunity with the VS, because you got the handheld, right? And you plug it in, and it just acts like a regular controller. You don't have anything on the screen.
Sorry.
And I feel like that's a lost opportunity to be able to do something cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like almost like a Wii U style or Amico style, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but at the price point that they were entering, I don't think it would have been.
And
possible.
they failed. Like I've had 2 of them fail on me already. Like I'm not
thought about getting the EXP, and mine's not failed. I don't use my handheld version of that enough. I use my Steam Deck a ton in handheld mode. I use my Switch, which I picked up an OLED one, which is a phenomenal upgrade for handheld. If you do handheld with your Switch at all, I highly recommend going to the OLED if you haven't. It's a big game changer. Everything's much easier to see. It's much brighter. The screen resolution just feels better. Everything about it feels like a drastic improvement. Now, when you have it in docked mode, there's literally no difference. And it wasn't intended to be a difference. They want to skew their audience one way or another with
PSP stopped.
PSP stopped reading DS of 7 years. That hurts, man. PSP is a good system. So's the Vita. Problem. Those are great handhelds.
Yeah, that's the problem with old hardware. They're not intended to last, and over time, it's easy enough to find them at a pawn shop or on eBay, but it's hard to get one that's going to be working for the long term and not run into any issues and not have to do all the setup.
Yeah, the nice thing about the PSP is a lot of things can actually emulate PSP now. So you keep your physical copies of whatnot of whatever you got if you want to do it more legally, and then you just emulate it on another thing, because if your hardware dies, that's not anything you can really help with. I mean, the PSPs were kind of notorious for a lot of their buttons being janky, the D-pad being janky. They had a lot of hardware issues with that one. Yeah. The Vita really fixed a lot of that and across the board.
Mine.
And I think was overall a superior platform. But they didn't port all the PSP games over to that. So
totally. But yeah. By that point, mobile had already established its foothold.
Yeah, mobile had started taking a footprint, and it was really starting to beat up on all of them. I think the only one that was really holding out was the 3DS, and that's just because Nintendo.
And I think Sony's promised big titles were too late to come or never came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't...
Someone had asked, I think it was Mike Garcia had asked about my opinion on mini consoles. Yeah, I think they're consoles just like a dedicated, Pong console from 76, 77. I don't see why it wouldn't be a console.
Yeah.
Well,
you can load them and adjust them.
I don't know. I think part of this was if you could bring a handheld back that was from the past, which one would you bring back and what would you do with it differently?
Turbo Express, add a CD add-on. Or a ROM dump for the CD game.
I see a CD add-on for the Turbo Express being a nightmare, personally.
But or like I said, or can you load those CD game with technology nowadays? Could you have that handheld have either preloaded CD games on it, or use thumb drives or SD cards to put?
You'd almost have to use SD cards, because if you tried to stack, then really a Nokia N-Gage, really?
The correct answer.
I remember the N-Gage. I think I had one.
I want to have a conversation with Kevin about this. Why the N-Gage?
Because he was not allowed to vote for the Gamecom.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Why the Gamecom? Neither one of these really worked all that well, and the Nokia N-Gage, if I remember, was also a phone, not a very good phone.
It was not a very good phone. It was
not
a bad
very
design.
good handheld.
But
from
it
what
did
I could
have some
tell.
interesting. It did have some interesting games, and they had a good concept. Their timing was a little off. They didn't have,
It's like they were trying to do the mobile game market before you had a mobile game market.
Yeah.
But you had to take the entire back and I think the battery out to change the game.
Yeah,
if I remember.
It had some issues, and by the time it already had the negative reputation, people were already looking for the next thing. And I don't think they knew what the N-Gage was. Was it a phone where you could play some games? All right, there were some of those that were coming on. Was it a system where you also had some phone functionality? Well, then you had like the DS and stuff where you could it was a system and you could communicate with what was the Nintendo the Square feature where you could communicate with some friends.
Kevin's saying he had the second version of the N-Gage as well.
It's been so long.
How about Wonder Swan handheld?
So they fixed that. I was going to ask you, did they fix how you change the games out with the second edition? Because the first edition, from what I could tell, you had to take out the back and pop out the battery, and then you could change the cart. Then you had to put it all back together. Did they fix that with the second edition? And it seems like they did. And that's way better, because that makes it very difficult to enjoy the system if half the time you have to power it down. Well, you had to power it down anyway to change most carts. It was just sort of standard, but you didn't have to pull the battery. Yeah. That was a little excessive.
I think it was dead in the water, though, by the time they had that second edition.
Was it? Because I don't remember much of the second edition. I've thought about... I kind of want to collate together a bunch of data, because I'm going into like the first handheld that actually used interchangeable carts in the near future. So I kind of want to start putting enough data together to do one on kind of like an evolution of handhelds from like Game & Watch and Tiger Electronics and all that. Well, Tiger Electronics never seems to die. They always seem to have these weird resurgences. Like there were a couple of them that came out like a year or two ago. There's a Transformers,
they had like 4.
Something else. Yeah, they released a
Little Mermaid, I think.
Yeah, it was like a weird selection of them, but I'm just like, okay, so Tiger handhelds are still a thing. I had no idea, but
I don't think they're trying to appeal to us. I think they're just trying to appeal to like general nostalgia, and then there were systems for little girls as well. So I think it made sense.
Yeah, and everybody I knew had at least one Tiger Electronics handheld.
Yeah,
right. I don't think I knew a single person that didn't own at least one or two of those.
Take care, Luke.
They were just so cheap to get your hands on.
Good night, Luke.
Good night, Luke. A ton of people had them. But we've had some interesting things. Virtual Boy Color.
That would be insane, right?
That would be weird.
Panda
I
love
feel
that.
like they already tried to do that with the Labo stuff.
No, I feel like that's a headache and an LSD trip in one.
I can feel like it is, yeah.
Speaking of a headache and an LSD trip in one, I was going to say LED trip, or an OLED trip, if you're into that. I think we're at about an hour and a half, so we're going to have to cut it. I know we're having some awesome, big Game & Watches, right?
We're going to have to actually officially really handle this topic at some point, because I feel like we can fill
an entire thing
with it. But every time we start to bring it up, you hide from it for 45 minutes or more, sir.
He's like, there's more chats I need to get to. All right, I need to go back and just start reading these.
I'm like, I don't know about your handheld gaming.
Brad, I feel like we're going to have this conversation on Retro Roots or something like that.
I would,
What we need to do is get this man a Turbo Express, and then he can join the party.
Give me my Turbo Express.
I would like to have a Turbo Express. Actually, I thought about buying that analog. I thought about buying that analog pocket just to make it like a little Turbo Express on its own.
Yeah, I love AVGN. I don't think he'd ever do this show, but love to have him and talk to him, because he's I've been watching him for a bit.
I'd love to talk to James Rolfe. You kidding me?
He's pretty cool. He's just
I'd freaking love to talk to that guy.
He's like a really cool dude. But yeah, anyways, I appreciate everyone. We had some cool talking. The handhelds is pretty sweet. The even our Amico talk, everything was fantastic, and the insane super chats. Thank you so much. Like I said, check out the link in the description here. I do have the new DJC Game Studios fan club. Become a member. Check it out on my Patreon. And it's going to be a silly ride if you're into it. So that being said, Nick, what do you got coming up soon?
I am wrapping up stuff on the Geekstorian channel with the Halloween stuff. I'll have the Freddy Krueger video out on Friday just before Halloween. And then I'm going to start going back to normal. I've got a couple of scripts written up for things that I want to bring to the channel. On that channel, I may try to do a couple of extra streams on the Geeks with Cash thing. I wouldn't mind starting to do some more uploads there, but I have to get far enough ahead on the Geekstorian so I could do that. Right now, I think I would just like to do some more Luigi's Mansion. And I don't know, if I finish that before Halloween, maybe Ghostbusters or something like that. The remastered one I had trouble streaming. I'd have to break up my PlayStation copy for that because it doesn't work well.
On the Nightmare on Elm Street NES, have you ever played 4-player on that?
I really never messed with that game hardly at all.
You got
I
at
only
least
really learned it was 4-player because of AVGN, and then when I was doing research for this video, I got reminded that was a 4-player tap game. That seems like one that would be a lot of fun to do 4-player.
And also, I'm
gonna go knock a glass of water off of a table.
Yeah, oh my god, that's all my cat's been doing is knocking stuff off, breaking things.
Well, that's what cats do.
Well, I'm surprised. Like for a while, when I have to close the door so he won't come down here because there's too much shit to get into. I'm like waiting for him to break something down here, and I'm like, oh, he's up there just like going meow, 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 trying to get at the door, and yeah, so kind of lame, but he gets over it. He's very spoiled, very fat.
I'm wearing a geeky jersey.
Oh yeah, actually. Check out this jersey, guys. Hold on, let me put you on.
It's a Ghostbusters jersey
on solo layout. Hold on, dude, check that. That is amazing, right?
So it's got the arm patch there with the number and everything 84. Like that on each one. And then I'll try to get turned around so you guys can see the back.
Dude, it's like the name patch on the jersey. Isn't that awesome? That is so cool, man.
Very nice.
What's this? Have you seen the videos where the owner super glues items on the shelf and the cat is going, what? Really? No, I have to check that. I should start doing that.
That's really funny. Such a mean thing to do to your cat, but super funny.
No, that's great. Yeah, that jersey is wet. Is rad.
Cat had to come in.
Wet. We're not flipping off the chat. Sorry. As much as we want to, we love you too much. I know
you guys like to clip that and make fun of me for that, but you guys, there's a lot of people out there, including some of the people that hang out here, that have made fun of us for almost 2 years. And I feel like that was kind of earned. So
what's up,
are there? Have there been?
No one ever makes fun of anyone ever on YouTube. Everyone is super nice and decent human beings here on this platform.
And I don't get too many requests. You gotta earn some of those clips. You'll get them. Stick around.
Yeah, cats are proof that the earth isn't flat. Everything would have been knocked off by now.
Sound reasoning. That's the cat earth theory.
But thank you, everyone in chat. Thanks to everyone for the super chats. Thank you for everything. We'll be back, as always, next week because it's forever and forever and forever. Stay tuned to the channel. Within the hours, only hours from now, we will be. I'm sorry, I'm just reading like private chat right now. We will be doing some Intellivision content, Amico content. So within hours, I will be waiting outside. I'll be sitting at the curb like this, waiting for the FedEx truck. Until then, we'll see you next week, and we'll be hanging out with our real Amicos. Wait, but we're Amicos. See you next week.
Have a game.